Hey bees, I'm Marie from Humblebee and Me, and today we are making some beautiful snowflake bath bombs in keeping with our holiday 2017 snowflake gifting theme. Something I should warn you about with these bath bombs is that you might not want to try one yourself if you intend on gifting them, because then you might find that suddenly you are taking a lot more baths than usual, and then suddenly you don't have any left to give away because they are beautiful. They are so decadent, and the lather they make, we're including a bit of a surfactant, so in addition to the fizziness, you get this beautiful creamy lather that just, oh my goodness, it's so gorgeous. And it's actually a lot more enthusiastic than I thought it would be, so you will see me overflow a bowl with beautiful fluffy bubbles at the end of this video. Bath bombs are pretty simple to make, but it can take a bit of practice to find just the right point to go from spritzing to pressing. So basically what a bath bomb is a dry version of that baking soda and vinegar volcano that we all made in science class in the second grade, except instead of vinegar, we're using citric acid as our acid because, ugh, can you imagine the smell of vinegar just following you around in your bathtub? Ugh. So we begin by mixing all of our dry ingredients together. So we have our baking soda, which is our basic ingredient, and our citric acid, which is our acidic ingredient. And when those things get wet, they react and create that bath bomb reaction. And then to that, I've added some other good for skin ingredients. So we've got some Epsom salts and some whole milk powder, which is just so decadent and luxurious, and then a powdered surfactant so that we get, foam and bubbles and not just fizz. And so once we have this powder, we need it to hold together. And so in order to do that, we need to add just enough liquid that some of the components start to dissolve, and then we can press them together, and then they'll recrystallize together as they dry out and then hold their shape like a sugar cube would. But we can't add too much liquid, otherwise the baking soda and the citric acid are going to be like, it's on! And then you won't so much have a bath bomb as you'll just have a giant bowl of fizzies, poop. So in order to try and prevent this poop sort of situation, what we do is we spritz. We have, you'll need a spritzer bottle, and you want to use witch hazel. It helps reduce the sort of vigorousness of the reaction and gives us sort of more time to work, more leeway. So you'll spritz in the witch hazel, a couple spritzes at a time, and then you'll whisk and you'll spritz and you'll whisk, and so you'll be distributing that small amount of moisture throughout as much of the bath bomb mixture as possible, so that hopefully, we never reach critical mass where that reaction kicks off. And then we'll be testing, so you just kind of reach in and Thor, etc., superhero fist clench, and then you open your palm and you're like, is it holding together? Yes, no, maybe. And then if it is, then great, time to press your bath bombs, and if not, then more back to the spritz, spritz, whiskey, spritz, spritz. And so you'll see me do sort of the spritz, spritz, whiskey, the fist clench, and then I move on to testing it into the molds and tapping it out, and then and they're back in. And this is basically the bulk of the time you spend making a bath bomb is getting the moisture level just right. And with the size of the batch that we're making today, I found I did actually have to go back in and add more moisture as I was going, because it dried out as I was working. So keep that in mind. If your first 4 or 5 hold together great, and then the 6th one is just pop that back in there and add some more moisture and keep on trekking. But yeah, that's basically it. It's really, really lovely. These things, bath bombs, really impress people as gifts, because they're the sort of thing where, you're used to paying $5 or $6 for a single bath bomb, and you can make lots of bath bombs for $5 or $6 worth of ingredients, and they're just decadent. A perfect way to pamper yourself, or, for one of your loved ones to pamper themselves, if any of these bath bombs actually make it out of your house and into somebody's Christmas stocking. So they're just great gifts. So come on, let's go make some bath bombs. All right, so here are our powdery ingredients. In this large bowl, we have 540 grams of baking soda, 216 grams of citric acid, 216 grams of Epsom salts, 96 grams of milk powder, and this is a blend of whole milk and buttermilk powder because I didn't have enough plain old whole milk powder. And in here we have 132 grams of SLSa. So we're going to combine everything in this big bowl with the baking soda. And you can see there's some clumps in here, so I'm kind of going to be smushing them up with the back of the spoon as we go. But before we get too far, I'm going to put on my dust mask, because inhaling the SLSa or the citric acid is super, super unpleasant. All right, so now that we have a uniform powder mixture, it's time to start adding some moisture, which we're going to do in the form of witch hazel in a mister bottle. So what we want to do is get just enough moisture in here that everything will hold together if pressed very tightly into our mold, and no more, because if there's any more, they'll start to react with themselves. So we're going to be working very slowly, spritzing over a wide area and quickly whisking to distribute the moisture through as much of the mixture as possible, and then testing it occasionally by clenching a fistful of it to see how it goes. But I'm going to pop my face mask back on for this part because, again, we will be whisking this around and it's not nice in the lungs, so you'll just sort of get to watch this in fast forward. Once your bath bombs are all formed, just leave them to dry for at least 24 hours. Part of the sort of the wisdom of doing this on a cookie sheet is that you can move them. If you just put them on parchment paper on a table, then you end up losing that part of your table for a day. But I figure we'll choose sort of a sacrificial bath bomb here that doesn't look like it's going to make it into adulthood, and test it out. There's still a ton of bath bomb left, but look at this gorgeous, gorgeous foam. Oh my goodness. And I can't believe how much bath bomb there is left. Holy cow. Okay, these things are amazing. They're so dense. I think this bowl might overflow. Woo! Okay. I really want to go take a bath now. Yeah, so there you go. You just made some gorgeous snowflake bath bombs. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. Check the description box. Oh dear, this definitely is going to overflow. Check the description box below for the full written recipe and the links to this recipe on my blog, where you'll find the full written instructions and links to all of the ingredients. And I will see you next time. I'm gonna go stop this from making a huge mess now.